A new ad. Let's watch it. But also for the people who were like trying to drag Gina Hinojosa for what she had on her website, I want you to compare and contrast what she has on her website and what this mofo is running on. Okay?
The Democrats are trying to take over Texas because I am advancing transformative policies the Democrats are against. Number one is to slash your property taxes, whereas the Democrats, they want to increase your taxes. We passed a constitutional ban on an income tax. Democrats voted against that. I signed a law saying no boys and girls sports. I get up every single day to go to work to make sure that Democrat socialist policies will never take root in the state of Texas.
Let's get into it, Greg. First, I want to talk about what he does not say. He's not bragging on the economy that he grew, which typically, if you've been governor for as long as he's been governor, you'd be saying, look at all the jobs we have. Texas is the land of milk and honey. He doesn't say that because he knows it's not, which is why Gina has to do the whole money in your pocket thing over on her website. Then I find it very funny, Greg, that you did not mention education because you was out here screaming about vouchers, and now people know that vouchers is actually defunding education, and so you didn't mention that as like your crowning achievement. Very interesting, Greg. But Gina has talked about his voucher scam to help his billionaire friends. Education is at the forefront for her. And when I was a kid, Texas was considered to be a good place for public schools. Not anymore. And Greg ain't mentioned that. Very suspicious. Okay, first he said he's advancing transformative policies. Yeah, like data centers that he brought out the red carpet for. That's real transformative, Greg. It's going to change our air, our water, noise pollution, real transformative. The property tax one as well. Like, don't play in my face. Trying to turn an issue that you ignored into a campaign issue, that's weird to me. But y'all fall for this every single time. So, Dan Patrick, the Republican lieutenant governor, can't stand him. Do not vote for him. Vicky Goodwin, okay? However, Dan was very focused on this during the last session in Austin. Greg was focused on school vouchers to help his billionaire friends, not you and me, regular old homeowners, all right? And so because they've ignored this issue, Texas now has the highest property taxes in the country. So now you want to say, oh, let's fix it. Well, you ignored it for like a decade. What you mean? And so just so you know, do we need to restructure our property taxes? Yes. But we also have to know that that's going to have a huge impact on our schools. We're going to create a huge deficit for our schools and also our local government. And if our local government has less money, they have to depend on Austin a lot more. That gives them more control over our beautiful blue cities. We don't like that. The banned income tax thing is also just silly. So basically, they put these really silly things on the ballot as constitutional measures back in March. We all had to vote on them. Many were saying just vote no on all of them. And the Republicans added this thing where it made it a constitutional ban on income tax in Texas. Now, mind you, we don't currently pay income tax, but many Democrats were saying, yeah, I don't think that we need income tax today. But as this country shifts, as oil and gas perhaps shifts, we go to more electric and all these different things, we don't want to stifle the power of the government, of the state government decades from now. They be in the here and now trying to win votes today, not thinking about how this can impact the government 50 years from now. So now, 50 years from now, they may have a harder time being able to find income revenues because they cannot have a state income tax. And then here he goes talking about trans kids in sports. He's not talking about y'all schools, which went from here to here during his time as governor. The 2% of kids who may perhaps be trans and play soccer and play sports. I just think sports ball is never on my mind when I'm going to vote. That is an extracurricular activity that is like, this is crazy. And then when you think about it too, it's like, y'all, we all started sports playing co-ed soccer. So what are we even talking about here? And then I just saw a video, I just reposted. This girl was talking about how that they are using the attacks on these transphobic attacks on children and all of that to help dismantle support for discrimination laws. They are using language and frameworks that we had helped push out through the passage of things like Title IX and all that. It's a scheme, y'all. Don't fall for it. Then he ended talking about democratic socialism policies. Don't come talking to me about socialism if you can't describe to me what socialism is and a collegiate level understanding of it. Don't come talking to me about socialism if you holding on to your Social Security check with with your last grip. Don't come talking to me about socialism if you going out here and getting your mail from the U.S. Postal Service or if you work down there. Don't come talking to me about socialism. Y'all know what it is, and they make y'all scared of it like it's like Russian communism, and you don't know what it is. Spend some time learning about it and learning about the policies that you enjoy in this country that are considered socialism. My God, today, this commercial had me hot. This was so ridiculous.